Isha Schwaller de lubicz, seeking out tendencies. What do I gain if I deceive myself? Only my mortal being can be deceived. When the illusory wishes vanish, reality appears. The necessary experience is to recognize the real in the midst of the world of illusion. To do this, I must clear my own ground, eliminate all that is not my true self, and create in myself the milieu which can attract the spirit. Only the immortal self can eliminate personal desires and so serve the one true desire, desire for the eternal. And then the permanent witness will submit without reserve to the supremacy of the spiritual witness. Okay, so here she is talking about the world of illusion and going through it and constantly discovering what is false. So this is called apophatic knowledge. It's instead of grasping after new knowledge or new things or searching for things, what you do is you negate or discover everything that is not real. And in this process, you start to make the unreal disappear over and over and over again. And then what remains is actually what is real. It's Krishnamurti said it as like this. He said, until the false is seen as the false, truth is not. So that's the process of apophatic knowledge. And then she goes in to say that the one true desire that actually exists is the desire for the eternal, which is what we actually are in our being, in our essence. And then when she uses the word the permanent witness, that is actually referring to the pseudo-self, the image of the self, or the ego. And then when she is talking about the permanent witness will submit without reserve to the supremacy of the spiritual witness, the spiritual witness is actually the eternal self, the one that is always aware, infinitely, always. Continuing on, seeking out tendencies. If in the revealing light of some moment of cataclysm you were to meet your double, not dressed in the worldly glad rags, not armed with that buckler of excuses which conventional hypocrisy uses to cover our secret wishes, but in all its moral nakedness, showing its tendency and urges, its pitilessness, cunning, and its cowardice, are you certain that you would recognize it? How many sages are there on the earth who could and calmly would call by their real names their secret motives of their actions? That, nevertheless, would be the greatest victory of a man could gain over himself, and the first proof of his mastery, a clear vision of all the tendencies which rule his inner being. If you want to enjoy the symphony of the crowd, if you want normal people to make excuses for you, do not enter the maze to which this fearless search will lead you. Remain in the disguising shade, where reassuring mediocrity comes down and veils any truth that should threaten labels, any truth that should show its face to discourage inquiries, covers it with well-known labels. For quite possibly the unveiling of your secret world might ruffle your calm acceptance of the opinions, values, and prejudices which rule your ordinary life. It is, of course, unwise to trust the unawakened with means of destruction, which only the sage should wield. Yet no one of the elect will find his kingdom except by the pitiless destruction of everything which is not a part of the indestructible life of his own being. And this can only be the consciousness developed in him by the experience of life. Blind obedience is for the herd, and mediocrity is its refuge. A boldness that accepts its responsibility is the virtue of the conqueror who would find the keys of his kingdom. Happy is he who dares to destroy the phantoms of his past in order to find his own eternal likeness. Thrice happy he who is in love with the void, who fears not to plunge into the abyss where creative faith can lose nothing but its shadow, and the living soul nothing but its dead ghosts. You who do not wish to die with your body, cut out the cast in the fire from among your habits and ideas, all that can be destroyed. The indestructible will reveal itself of itself.